Okay, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since we had a video, and since I had an update for you on what's going on with the reading slash writing room. Um, if you don't know, we had a bit of trouble. So, for like years, we've had a little bit of flooding. Now, not like crazy flooding, like it's up to your ankles. It's just that water would get in here and it would spread across the entire floor, and I know I sound silly being like, well, it's been happening for years and we didn't do anything about it till now. But we were just, fixing stuff in the basement. We put down new tiles, and then in this specific room, my reading slash writing room, like it's just that we didn't have too much trouble whenever water came in. We just kind of cleaned it up. But after putting down the new floors, we were like, why don't we just get it fixed? So we had some companies that came, and they quoted us like thousands of dollars. We fixed it with 20 bucks. My mom did. She was like, you know what? And I don't know where this idea came from. She just bought some sealant for like 20 bucks. She put it around the house, and then we just tested it with the hose and no water got in. Because, when the guys came to look at it, they like put they took the hose, they put it over there by the corner where the water usually leaks in from. And so outside the house, they're like spraying like that corner of the house. And then we'd come down here and see like, yeah, water's getting in. So we put the rubber there, we tested it, and then it rained like in the next couple days, and not a drop of water got down here. So we fixed it with 20 bucks. That's really exciting. So I've spent um, like a day and a half probably putting some of the stuff back. And I'm recording on my phone since my camera's not charged. So let's see, I'm gonna turn my camera around so you guys could see. So my mom found these things. I think these were my older sister's, and she had like some CDs on them. And I think like after she moved out, she just left them here. And then my younger brother and sister had just random knickknacks on it, maybe like Funko Pops and stuff that were on them. I don't know, but they had them upstairs, and I completely forgot these existed. And my mom like cleaned them off, and then she was like, "Hey, you want these?" I was like, "Oh my god, yes!" So right now, what's going on? I know everything's a big mess, but I'm gonna walk you guys through it, and we're gonna get to like the unhaul, like everything I'm unhauling. Okay, so these are movies I have not seen yet, and it's from A down to Z. And I decided to. There's something I did with like the bookshelves. You'll see like there are spaces, and when I walk you through them, like you'll see like some of them are like looser, like even like up top where they like look pretty, like all together they're looser. Like see, I left some spaces there and there, and you could see like spaces all along. So I left spaces so that way, like when I get more movies that I haven't seen before, I could easily put them through. Or when I watch those movies, I could easily like slip them into place without having to like, now I got to move one over on each shelf. Eventually you'll have to move things over, but for now there's like spaces, so I could like just insert a movie after I watched it. Like down at the bottom, there's the movie Identity. I just watched it last night. I put it away today. Boom, right in its place. And there's still wiggle room on that shelf. I think it's gnarly. So some things are just like in temporary locations. Like if you see like books like hanging around there and there, like those are just kind of temporary. Just like I need more space. And like I said in like previous videos, I did have to throw out one bookshelf because there was only one casualty in all the flooding, and that bookshelf was right here, right where the water would get in. And so the back of that thing was like eating the water, and so the foundation of that bookshelf was kind of falling apart, and there was like a little bit of mold, so we had to toss it out. I'm gonna do the unhaul first. I'll like walk you guys through like what all I'm unhauling, and then maybe I'll go through and talk about like my plans and where things are and whatnot. So we'll start with we'll actually start with like a little movie unhaul because I only have a few things here. So, we're starting with the Terminator movies that I don't like, which are Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, which I don't even know what the salvation was in the movie, and then Terminator Dark Fate. So, I like Terminator the most. Terminator 2, I really like. And then Genesis is not the best movie, okay? It is not. But they nostalgia baited me with that movie. And it's funny, I fell for the nostalgia bait when I did not grow up with this series. When it comes to Terminator, when I was a kid, I don't know why. Maybe I saw like a trailer or commercial or something about it on TV. And my sister worked at Blockbuster. And I was like, big sister, can you bring this home, please? And she was like, yeah, okay. I don't know if she just ignored the rating or what. But like she brought it home, put it on for me. It gets to that disgusting sex scene, and I run out the room, and that's all I remembered from Terminator is disgusting sex scene. Okay, and so I didn't grow up with it. So I probably wasn't. I was like 26 or 7 when I finally saw Terminator. Okay, so yeah, it's not like something I like really grew up with. Okay, so it's like I was watching all these like I bought them all at the same time because we're on my old channel. We used to do a show where we talk about movies, and we were gonna do a big Terminator special where we talk about all of them. So I was watching them like once a week, like pretty much like all in a row. And when I got to Genesis, I was like, I just watched like so many bad Terminator movies in a row that I like kind of liked Genesis. So I did not like Terminator, Dark Fate, or Terminator 3. It's not bad, but if I ever really need Terminator 3, I'll just get. I don't know if I could ever see myself watching it again or not. Probably not. It's not the absolute worst, but I just don't really need it. And if I ever do need it, it's easy to find. But I just absolutely do not need Salvation. So that's going next. We've got the Gremlins 4K. I already have Gremlins and Gremlins 2 on a double feature Blu-ray, so I'm like, why not? I'll just get rid of it. And then because I'm gonna upgrade to the Stanley Kubrick box set, and the Criterion, what they are gonna do is these standard Blu-rays are just gonna be back in the set. So I'm just, I already have them. I don't need them twice. So we are getting rid of Paths of Glory and Barry Lyndon. Now, I did want to start a second Stanley Kubrick phase. I've seen all but like a couple of his movies, and I wanted to watch them, but I already got rid of some of them, and I just kind of want to watch them all in a row, and I'm like, I'll just watch them all in a row when I get the Criterion box set. So that is like the small like movie unhaul, and now we will get to the books. So the books are in no particular order. Mostly you are going to see horror stuff. There might be like a few things, like there's some like older stuff over here, like that's kind of like a war book, The Great Escape, and there's a few like detective noir kind of things, like Earl Stanley Gardner's over here. You guys will see a few things like that. Mostly it's horror. Now, I know my channel is called Nasser's Bookshop of Horrors. I love horror, but the older I get, the less I like it. And the older I get, the more I just kind of need something more out of what I read. Not to say you can't get something out of a horror book, but it's very few and far between. I said before on this channel, okay, it's like on Seinfeld when Jerry said like the only population on the planet that's dateable is like 5 to 7%, and Elaine's like, so 95% of the population's undateable, and Jerry just goes, undateable. Like, it's worse with horror books. So every genre of books, whether it's romance, it's thriller, it's sci-fi, it's whatever, any genre you could list, 95% of the books are unreadable. When it comes to horror, I don't know why horror attracts every awful writer. It just does. 99.99999% of horror is unreadable, and a lot of it's slop. You know how many of these books that I've gone through when I'm like, so most of the books you'll see here I have not read, but I was doing some inspections. I was like reading, like, is the first sentence, is there a good opening? What exactly is this about? Am I going to get something new out of it? I would read like the back blurb, like, is there anything really? Because most of these, if I bought them individually, it was probably for the cover, like with this book, Dead Voices, and others, I probably got them in a lot. I bought a few lots on eBay, and maybe I bought it for like one specific book, and I got like 5 others with it, But when I was looking through these, there are so many of them that it's just wash, rinse, repeat. It's like they go back to their childhood town, and they have to confront the whatever demons from their past, and their house might be haunted. Or it's just always something about like ancient evil is unlocked, and it's always something about like, oh, but he got like the transplant of like the killer's eyes, and so now he like sees like the crimes, and like that stuff's cool and all, but it's been done to death. And I've read, like, I got rid of, before I even started the channel, like I did get rid of a lot of stuff, And I've read a lot of these books, and not these ones here, but like in general, like a lot of like trashy like horror paperbacks. Okay, and there's just there's a lot of them are slop. There's not a lot I get out of them. Like the older I get, I just want to say this. I know I'm taking a minute here before I actually go through and show them all, but I do want to give you guys like a little bit of like preface and backstory and kind of like my experience with all this stuff and like why I'm getting rid of them. I just don't just want to stand here and just be like, oh well, it sucks. It sucks. You know, we're just getting rid of them. Okay, like I started reading nonfiction. I'm not even really sure how. I think there were just like a couple nonfiction books I was interested in, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Also, there's no nonfiction on this table yet. I haven't really gone through my nonfiction. So first, I have way more fiction, so that's what I'm sorting, and that's what you see here. It's like all fiction, like A to Z. Okay. When I read nonfiction, I really get something out of it. I learn something. And I know I'm not the only one who's said this, and there have been studies about it. You retain things better if you read them in a book, if you write something down, rather than if you watch something in a video. If you, it's just you just learn more. Okay. I'm trying not to go into many tangents, and I just have enjoyed that experience of learning more reading nonfiction, and I've really enjoyed reading older fiction. Like when I read only like three John Steinbeck books. I really loved two of them. One of them was just all right, and I sold it. And you know, I even the one that I sold, and that I didn't very much like, I got more out of that than reading any horror novel. The older I get, the more I'm just very much interested in characters and who these people are, and um, I just really want to get something out of it, something that has like meaning and substance, like East of Eden. There's no horror novel that's going to be better than East of Eden. It's just not. And this is also not to say I don't like trash, because I love Jim Thompson books, but his books aren't necessarily like deep. They're just like good, fun, like trashy books. Okay, but it's just horror just doesn't really do it for me anymore. Now I am keeping some horror, like from here. You can see like there's an Edgar Allan Poe book over there, um, and I'm keeping like my novelizations like Dead and Buried over there, which I haven't read it yet, and like there's a few I'm keeping. Like, I haven't read that one in there called Keeper of Children. I'm keeping a few horror novels. Like I've got some John Ferris books over here. I'm keeping a few because I'm sure when October rolls around, I'm gonna want to read a few. I'm keeping like pretty much all my Valancourt books. I haven't really those are like the only fiction books I think that I haven't really gone through yet. But I'm keeping them because I'm sure when October comes around, like there is gonna be some horror I wanna read, and I do have like all my Stephen King books like on those two shelves down there. Like I'm gonna probably read Christine like this October. Like I'm not like just 100% done with horror, but I am like 99.9999999% done with it. Like I'll probably read like one horror novel a year, maybe two, like at this point, because I'm just enjoying everything else so much more. But sorry, you'll have to excuse me for like all the rambling. We are finally going to get into it, and I'm going to go through all the stacks. So nothing's in any order here. I'm just going to go through this. But this book, Guardian Angels, I bought it for the cover. I'm sure it was like $2 at half price books. This one actually is a little bit in order right here because these books were just all together in the box I dug them out of. But these are Whitley Strieber books: Unholy Fire, Communion, which is like a pretty popular book, but I'm just like, I don't really need it. The Forbidden Zone, Lilith's Dream. I think I got those all in a lot. And then there's a John Saul book called The Homing. Now, John Saul, terrible author, and I remember somebody read, not to bring up my own books, but somebody read one of my like early books it's really garbage, and I took it out of print, but somebody read it. He's like, oh, this is pretty good. You remind me of John Saul. Anybody that I've mentioned that to, they're like, oh my God, but John Saul sucks. Like, that's such an embarrassing comment. Like, I'm like, oh my God, John Saul sucks. Like, after I got that comment, I bought like a bunch of John Saul books, never read them. I'm just like, I can't read them. Like, he sucks. I don't want to read them and then be like, oh, but I suck. I reminded like this guy, John Saul. I've gotten better since then, okay? But this book, Sybil, this one's pretty popular. It has over 4 million copies in print. But I just glanced at it, and it just kind of seemed like, I don't know, it just seemed like one of those things I didn't really, like, you know how many of these books start with like the intro? I think this might have been one of them, where it's like, it starts with like a flashback to like 1880, and then it cuts to like 1973, and then it's like, oh no, they're gonna like, inherent in the ancient evil curse, or she's the witch that was burned at the stake like 100 years ago, and now it's her. Um, this book, Floater, great cover. I mean, I dig the cover, but so many of these books, like their merits end at the cover. Ghostlight by Claire McNally. I read one other book from her. I sold it. It wasn't really good. I don't know why I even bought it. A Stranger's Eyes. Yep, you already know what this one is, guys. Oh no, he got the killer's eyes. Now he's becoming the killer. The Trespasser. What About the Baby by Claire McNally. Maybe that I got that in a lot. I don't know. Let me move this stack aside so it doesn't tip over and fall. Puppet Master. Unfortunately, it's nothing to do with the series of movies Puppet Master. The Pet by Charles L. Grant. This was one I did debate keeping because of Charles L. Grant. He's not a bad writer. I've read a couple short stories of his, but I was like, I don't really need it. And this is Dracula's Guest. This is apparently like a lost chapter from Dracula. And I think I did spend like $10 on this thing, but I didn't even really like Dracula. Okay, it's like a bunch of like diary entries, and it's just kind of just anticlimactic. It's like, will this character die? Next chapter is a diary entry. Pardon me, from that character's point of view. So I'm like, okay, nobody dies then. They all live to write diary entries. We got The Deep by Peter Benchley. I'm just not interested in it because Jaws, the movie, is so much better than the book. I'm like, well, is The Deep even going to be good? Cape Fear by John D. McDowell. This is Cthulhu Mythos, short stories, I guess, by Robert E. Howard. Now, I've never really read any Robert E. Howard, but I don't know. It's just like Cthulhu fan fiction, really. I mean, if it's not written by Lovecraft, I don't know if I've ever really liked any Cthulhu stories, but I have heard from my buddy Mark, who's an even bigger Lovecraft guy than I am, that the Cthulhu stories that Robert Bloch wrote are really good. So I don't know. I've never read those ones. This one's The Babysitter by R.L. Stine. This is for like 12-year-olds, but I don't know how I came across this. Maybe it just came in a lot. I don't know. The Survivor by James Herbert. Nice cover. I know a lot of people like James Herbert. I've never read him. Nightstone by Rick Hodela. Really good cover, but it's just like generic like slop. Like, oh no, we moved into the haunted house, and then the girl finds a killer doll, and then the little boy walks on the ceiling, and nobody seems to notice or care, and the dad's like, we can't move out of here. Like, we got this for such a good price, and it's just dumb. This is called The Next by Bob Randall. I don't know, killer kid book. I don't know, The Legacy. Cat's Eyes. This might have been like a little cat lot or something. And then The Unborn. Oh, and of course it has a Stephen King says blurb where they just, pay like Stephen King, like, we'll give you like $5,000 if you let us put your name on the back saying it was good. And I guarantee you Stephen King did not read all those books that his name appears on, but like I can't imagine him actually saying this. Hey, there's going to be an occult bestseller this year. This is surely it. Who, let alone Stephen King, who starts a review like that? Like, who grabs a book and then they read it and they go, this is my thoughts. If there's going to be an occult bestseller this year, this is surely it. For 10 years, I've been waiting for someone who really knows medicine to write an all-out go-for-broke horror story, and the waiting is finally over. I didn't put it down until I had turned the last page, literally wrung out and trembling. Stephen King did not say that, guys. I'll put money on it. Phantom of the Opera. With the Lon Chaney cover. I did buy this for the Lon Chaney cover, but I honestly did not like the book. I think I've liked every like Phantom of the Opera or derivative Phantom of the whatever, Phantom of the Mall, Phantom of the Paradise, Phantom of I think there's one that's slipping me. I can't think of it right now, but like I even like the Robert Englund like Phantom of the Opera that nobody likes, but I liked that one. Like every Phantom of this or that I've seen, like I've actually like thoroughly enjoyed, but I just did not like the book. Evil Stalks the Night. Was this one with the cool? No, I thought this was the one that has like the cool, like you pull it back and there's like another cover, but yeah, I don't know. It's just It kills, but it cannot die. It began as it will end in the woods. It's like, ugh, okay, like, yeah, great. Like, some ancient evils, like, in the woods, guys. Like, I don't know. It's like, this is like AI slop before AI slop. Like, it's just horror author slop. Night stalks the mansion. And we've got The Fog. I don't think this has anything to do with John Carpenter's The Fog, but this is by James Herbert. You know what, guys? You know me. By the way, you know me and my buddy Andrew. Whenever I sell off, like I'm gonna take this stuff to. Well, I'm gonna take the movies to disc replay. The books I'll take to half price books. But me and him always have like a little like bet like of what am I gonna get for this? We always like throw something out there, just like a random number, each of us, like, it's just a fun little game. All of this, I'm going to say, with the movies plus the books, would I be too optimistic saying $100? Do I want to say 90? Do I want to say 80? 85? Is that a safe bet? 85? And anywhere from like 85 to 100. I'm just going to say 100. You know what? I'll just say 100. I'm going to guess $100 for all this. It's just pure random guess. I don't know. I'm guessing $100. We got Patrick by Keith. I don't even know how you say that name. Hetherington. I think this actually did become like a TV movie. But yeah, all this stuff's just dumb. The Altar Boy, like, I was never gonna read all this stuff. Like, the reason I didn't sell this stuff off before when I was selling other stuff is I just really kept hoping, like, am I gonna have like a horror phase again? Am I gonna get just really back into horror? But I really don't foresee it happening, and I'm keeping enough horror books for if it does happen. Like, we'll see. But Shadowland by Peter Straub. I read most or half of a book by Peter Straub, Ghost Story, which everybody is like, oh, it's like the best horror book ever. It's his best book. Oh my God, so good. I did not like it one bit. I did not like Ghost Story at all. And yeah, it's just kind of turned me off from ever reading any Peter Straub. If that's his best book, I'm just like, oh my God, probably a no from me, dog. Dead Voices by Rick Hodala. I spent like $6 on this thing. I really wanted this, but like, I just read like the blurb and I already like know how it's gonna go. Only the dead are truly safe. A young girl killed on a desolate highway. A mother agonized by unceasing guilt. In the vivid light of day, in the nightmare depths of sleep, her daughter calls to her from the grave, and soon she'll know if the voices she heard intend a warning only a loved one can sound, or seek a revenge beyond the limits of death itself. And just like, okay, great. Like, a lady's gonna walk around bored and then hear a voice and just think, is it her? Is it not her? And it's just gonna be a bunch of thinking the whole novel. I don't even know what this is. The Sending. Interesting cover. Haunted Ground. Yeah, I already know what happens with all these haunted house novels. Satan's Manor. See Jane Run. I am trying to show like the back of the books too, in case anybody watching this is like, oh my God, like, do I have to read this? Like, if you're still into horror novels, just so you can see what it's about. This is No Sanctuary by Richard Lehman. I hear nothing but good things about Richard Lehman, like that he's one of the better horror authors. I might have kept like another Lehman book somewhere, but I don't know. I'm just like, will I really get anything out of this? I mean, it's like watching a horror movie is just like, it's like an hour and like 30-minute commitment. It's just like, and it's just like a silly fun time. Like reading a novel, like it's gonna take me like, like it's just such a long commitment, and at the end of it, it's like, what did I get out of it? Sean Hudson. I think I got like a bunch of his books at Half Price Books. There might be some more of them somewhere else in this pile, but this one's called Victims, and this one's called Shadows. Clive Barker, The Damnation Game. I think I've only seen like one Clive Barker movie, just the first Hellraiser. It was fine. I am interested in seeing the sequels, but Clive Barker, I don't know. He's always been a name that I just hear it and I'm just like, do I need this? Am I going to care? Am I even going to like this? I don't think I'll like it. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. The Devil in Silver by Victor Laval. I don't know why I bought this. It's a modern book. I really don't know why I have that. The Boogans. I've never seen the movie. I've never read this book. It was $5. And the reason I picked it up was I knew a movie existed. So I was like, well, I need this in like 10 years from now. Will I really like this movie? And in 10 years from now, will it be like $9,000 and I can't get it anymore? So I was just like, I'll get it for $5. And now I'm just like, I don't need it. I don't know what this is. Prelude to Nightmare. I really don't know. Cat Magic by Whitley Strieber and Jonathan Barry. I had 2 copies of this, and and I showed you all the other Whitley Strieber books too earlier in this video. I had 2 copies of this, hardcover and paperback. I did keep the paperback. I was like, it was like the one out of all of them where I was like, this looks a little bit interesting. I'm kind of embarrassed that I own this, a Dean Koontz book, let alone 3 in 1. This is 3 complete novels: The Servants of Twilight, Darkfall, and Phantoms. And then below that is Peter Straub, Lost Boy, Lost Girl. I bought the Peter Straub books before I read Ghost Story and realized, like, no, I hated this. So, Michael Slade, Death's Door. I think this dude's got, like, a big following. Michael Slade, Hangman. They might be more thrillery. I don't know. Here, I'll show the back of them if anybody wants to see what they're about. But I was just like, yeah, probably not. Here are the rest of the Sean Hudson books. Captives. And this one's Heathen. Now, you know, the cover art on all these is great. I think if these were like movies, I would be down to watch some of them, but just like to read these things, probably not. This is Keepsake by Paul Husson. I don't know. Night Screams. I'll show these ones real quick. These are, so I've mentioned before my Stephen King rule that the older and shorter with Stephen King, the better. I could even simplify that further and just tell you, was Stephen King taking drugs when he wrote this? If yes, buy it. If not, no, don't buy it. And these are 3 books he co-wrote with Richard Chismar, who I do not like. And these were like the only like newer Stephen King books that where I didn't see people saying like, oh, they're all woke. But you know, I kind of like flipped through them a bit yesterday when I was looking at them, and I'm just like, I'm not interested in these. I don't want them. I only bought them because, you know, Stephen King's name was on them. Like, I fell for it, okay? Sometimes I fall for it. I try not to fall for it, but I fell for it that time, okay? This is a complete Edgar Allan Poe. Nothing I can't ever get back, and also, like I said, I do have the paperback over there with, like, I think it's got 18 of his best short stories in it down there, so... and plus they're, you know, it's public domain, it's on the internet, so you can find it on like Project Gutenberg or literally any website. Even on YouTube, you'll find a million audiobook readings. Like, it's everywhere, so I don't really need it. The Great Escape, which is a very popular movie amongst the boomers, but I'm like, I'm never gonna read this. I don't know. The Witnesses by Anne Holden. Trail of Blood. Tap Tap. It's got like a pullback cover. Kind of like a lazy... These pullback covers, some of them are cool because you pull them back, there's like a monster, but this one's just like, oh, you pull it back and there's a door. The Innocent Dark. Okay. When the Bow Breaks. See, this one's cool. Like, it's got like the knife cut out, you know, and then you pull it back and it's got the chick here. Like, yeah, that's a cool cover. Don't Close Your Eyes. I remember I bought this on... I was visiting my sister. She lives in another state, and I was visiting her in like 2021, I think. 2020 or 2021, and I like bought this at a vintage stock, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna read this. It sounds so cool. And I swear I got to like here, and then I was just like I got like 2 chapters in, and I was like, no. More John Saul, All Fall Down. Oh my god, okay. And I think this was also from that vintage stock trip. I don't even know what it is. Morbid Curiosities. I tried to rip the sticker off. Any stickers that were on here, I tried to take them off for when I saw them to Half Price Books. This one was a little hard to get off. I just kind of left it there. What else? The House of Doors. Brian Lumley. That was a close one. I was debating keeping it. The Keep by F. Paul Wilson. Yeah, probably not. I don't know. The Evil by Hugh B. Cave. That kind of sounds like a fake name to me. Hugh B. Cave. I don't know. Let's see. This one's Goat Dance by Douglas Clegg with one of those pulled back covers. Oh, so that's really cool art. Like you see everybody like burning in the fire. All right, we had a technical difficulty. I like had paused it because I was like, all right, I recorded like 16 minutes. I don't want it to like get lost. And then I stopped it and I started recording again. And then I recorded like another like 5-10 minutes. And then somehow I lost it. I don't know how, but just restarting here. So John Saul, Stuff for the Children. And then this book, I bought it because it was unhinged. Nerves by Lester Del Rey. It's more of a sci-fi thingy, but never read it. Earl Stanley Gardner, just a couple books from him. I've heard Stephen King mention this guy a bunch, but I've got a lot of these like vintage paperbacks that are like, were like 25 cents originally. I'm keeping a few, like you could probably see like one from here, maybe you could see a couple from here, I don't know, but with those old like detective-y kind of things, it's like a 50-50. Like I kept some, others I, put in the sell pile. I just kind of went by vibes. I was just like, yes, no, I need this one, I don't need this one. Just some more of those. More slop, like The Naked Eye, like by Henriette Martin and Gita Lewis. It's like, I would see through a murderer's eyes. It's like that generic, like, oh no, he got the murderer's eyes, now he sees the past murders. This one's called Blowdown by Lawrence Blockman. I don't know, this is such a funny title for a book. And actually, I think this might be like the one book that I read out of all these, The Murder That Wouldn't Stay Solved by Hampton Stone. Now, I read this because it's got a good cover, but I don't even know if I finished it. I got so boring. I don't know anything about this Hampton Stone guy, and it's only 223 pages, so it's not even like a huge commitment, but I just, I got really bored by this one. It was just like extremely boring. Let's see. We've got a bunch of these Mike Shane novels written by Brett Halliday. I've never read one of these, but I think I got a big lot of them. So I'm just going to show those off one by one. I'm pretty sure they're all in like the same stack here. I just, I don't know. I was just like, I'm interested in detective-y stuff, but then also I'm just like, well, I don't really like need this one, and I gotta make room. And you know what? I don't know if anything's gonna top like Raymond Chandler and Dashiell Hammett, and I've got those ones. So, these ones, I mean, like, look, I mean, that is like a sick cover. Like, even looking at this cover, I'm just like, well, should I keep this one? But I don't know, dude. I'm just like, if I truly ever need these, like, they're not going anywhere, and I could just always get them back, but I don't think I'm really gonna need these. And there's like a million of these. I don't know. So I think that's all Mike Shane in that pile. Former comic book fan, of course. That's why I bought this one. This is just like, I don't know. It's just like a reprint of some Batman comics in paperback form. So it's just like a couple panels on each page. Let's see. Cat's Cradle by William W. Johnstone has got like a reputation for being like really bad. Headhunter by Michael Slade. I think I showed you guys a few Michael Slade earlier. He's got a little bit of a following, I'm sure. I've heard they're solid, but I'm just like, I don't know. Do I really need this? I don't know. Let's see. This is The Jonah by James Herbert. I don't even know. How do you say this name? The Owl's Fane Horror by Duffy Stein. It's got a cool pullback cover. I'll give it that. Like, you see that mouth there in the statue, and you pull it back. Like, she's screaming. Like, that's cool. And then this Henry Kuttner book. I bought this because, like, I heard he was a good author, and it did come with loose pages, and they did label it on that sticker. And I might not have even seen that sticker when I bought this thing. I don't know if Half Price Books will even take it with the loose pages, but we'll see. Let's see, what is this? The Vampire Odyssey. Looks like it's a vampire thing that takes place in Hollywood. I don't know. And this Christopher Pike book, The Lost Mind. This is, again, for like 12-year-olds. I don't really read stuff that's for 12-year-olds. I never read this. I think this and that R.L. Stein book probably just like came in a lot with some other things. And okay, guys, last pile here. The Lost by Jack Ketchum. I am interested in reading some Jack Ketchum. I do hear good things. I think I did keep one, maybe two other Jack Ketchum books. Oh, this one I forgot to take the sticker off. Oh, I'll leave it to the side and do it after the video, but this is Children of the Dark by Charles Veely. Let's see, F. Paul Wilson, Reborn. Torments, which I heard is not even really much of a horror novel, just has like a horror novel cover. Sins of the Flesh. Yeah, this one's got like a nice cover. Like you can see the monster's like fingers and his face start to appear here. Then you pull it back and like opens the door. It's pretty sick. Jogger's Moon. Some more like boomery stuff here, like Alibi at Dusk. I don't even know what that is. The Kind Man. I don't know. There's a mystery apparently. A lot of these came in like lots, so I was just like buying a lot of books for cheap. So, there might have been like one specific book that I wanted, and then it just came with like a bunch of random stuff. And always leave them dying. I really don't know what this is like at all. So if I wasn't sure what it was, I just like put it in a pile. The Day of the Dead. And Steel to the South, pretty dusty book. I've gotta like wash my hands after this. Yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna take this sticker off of here, and then I'll kind of go over with you guys like some of like what I'm thinking to do with everything around here. So, like I said earlier, these are movies I own that I have not seen yet, from A through down to Z. These are most of my graphic novels. I still have some more. I've sold a lot of graphic novels. Basically, there might even be like some more that I still could sell. I'm not really a comic book guy anymore, but there's like stuff I've kept. Like, we'll do more like in depth, like going through like every title and everything. But like, I'm trying to keep everything alphabetically, but there are a few things that are not. Like over there, like my buddy sent me like a bunch of his like little self-published art books. I put those at the start. It just because the spines are like all blank, so I was just like, well, I'll just like put them there. But yeah, pretty much most of it's in alphabetical order. Outside of like I did put like Bigfoot Bill and Earthworm Jim like right there, just because I kind of felt like keeping them together. But then after those, like everything else starting. Well, actually, no, not Moomin. I forgot to move over Moomin, but like starting with like Archie, like everything else is like going in order. Those down there are things that need their own individual cases, like the replacement disc from Chain Reactions. I think the third disc in there needed a replacement disc, and so I want to get it its own case. There's a bunch of like disc only things that I have that need cases, and or there's like a couple that are in cases that need their own sleeve. So that's why those are like over there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just sending them down there, but I do have to go through and like make a list of those. Down there are photography books. The photography books are probably going to stay right there because I need a big enough space for them. Some of these graphic novels I might move around, we'll see. But those are like Stanley Kubrick ones, those first three, and then various different photographers there, or different subjects like Vogue. That one over there is like a Dennis Hopper's a collection of photographs he's taken. Now I know there's stuff in the way. These I meant to move, and this I've got to find like places for everything. But this first shelf is my Cornell Woolrich shelf in alphabetical order, and then Cornell extends up through here. So that's all Cornell from this first shelf down to here. After that, it's a little tricky. I have to find places for these. I just honestly have to sort them. I just kind of set them there. This I have to find space for. This is William Peter Blatty on The Exorcist. I would actually like to upgrade this to a better copy because this one's kind of battered. But this has like the Exorcist screenplay, some photographs, and I think just some like general thoughts on The Exorcist. They're all in here. I do have to make some room. I know these aren't in alphabetical order, but I decided to put like my favorite authors like on a shelf together. And also these books here are like the stuff that's coming up in my what did I read, and I didn't do a June video for what did I read in June. I'm going to do June and July together, and these are those upcoming videos. These are like my favorite authors. We got William Friedkin's memoir here, and then my William Peter Blatty books, and then we got Vladimir Nabokov here, David Gran, just some like individual books where the author only has one book, like my friend Mark Pellegrini, and then we got Nobody's Girl, and then Silence, here, so you can see Silence No More, and then we got Chaos here. And we got the Jim Thompson books, his biography, John Steinbeck, A Father's Story by Lionel Dahmer, some philosophy books. This is a project I'm working on. I just need 2 more. I'm getting every book that a Stanley Kubrick movie was based off of. I need Barry Lyndon, which is going to be easy to get. And then I need the Short Timers, which became Full Metal Jacket. That's going to be tough to get. That's the only one that's like really expensive. Because I want to put them all together and then, well, here, I don't want to ramble too much. But then this shelf is my favorite directors. Not in any particular order, but it starts with Brian De Palma, and then we've got David Lynch, Roman Polanski, William Friedkin, and sorry, I didn't even realize I had it angled down. You guys probably didn't even see, but yeah, William Friedkin's there, and then Stanley Kubrick's there at the end, and of course my Roman Polanski autograph. The bottom shelf is my own books that I've self-published, and then okay, it's a bit of a project. Let me just think. Well, starting with A, so we're sorting by author last name, and then I'm putting the books in alphabetical order. Starting with A, I don't think I even have anybody with Z yet, but that's what the stacks more or less are. These are all fiction, and like you can see, I'm keeping just a few like Spawn or Orphans, just keeping like a few like horror novels I haven't read yet that are like stupid horror novels that like maybe I'll want to read them in October, but I'd be more inclined to read like Daphne du Maurier, like that collection, a bit pretentious of a title, but says Echoes from the Macabre, but something that's like a little more kino of horror stories, but and like I said, some John Ferris, but anyways, sorry, I think I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, so what I'm doing is like A to Z, and then the books are going to be in alphabetical order for that author. Prime example of this is what I already did with Stephen King, because I knew I had like the most books from him. So starting with 11/22/63 and the Bachman books, Bazaar Bad Dreams, Carrie, Christine, Cujo, like you guys get the idea, all the way down to, I think I put that one out of place, actually. Did I have... Okay. I think this one was one that I found later, and I forgot to sort it, and I just tossed it to the side, but it ends with... Oh, wait. That one and the Colorado Kid, actually, because I dug... Okay. Stuff was in boxes. The Colorado Kid was... This was in my... I had Hard Case Crime all together. That's why I think I just set those down until I was coming back to it to organize them, but it ends with Under the Dome, actually. I'm going to set those there. I do have to find places for them. But yes, anyways, besides that goof, yes. So it's going like, alphabetical order. So that's what I'm doing for Stephen King. And yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. But I don't have a whole lot of shelf space. So something I already did. And you guys forgive me, a few things like in the way. Movies are going from, they start up there with A. So this is all alphabetical order. And like I said, I left like spaces, so that way, I could, like, if I watch a new movie, like, I'll have some room, so I left spaces. So we're going from there to here to all the way down there, and then up here is Z. This is Z. This is the last one. Ends with Zoolander. I'm leaving this shelf open because, as I watch things, of course, like I left the spaces, but at some point we'll have to move like groups of things over and it'll just go down. So I'm leaving that shelf open for, movies that I watch. So these here, so when I threw out the one shelf, I kept the individual like shelves, and they like, it fits on just this one. It doesn't fit on any of the others. Because these are like all different like brands and sizes, but it created these little spaces. And so this is like, I'm using these as like these little spaces. There's 3 of them here, and these are from like A to Z. These are like, I moved it up in the rotation. Sometimes like my buddies will be like, you got this movie, like you should watch it soon. And I'll be like, I'll move it up in the rotation. And that just, it used to mean I'll just like keep that in mind. But now it means I'll put it on this space. So I'm not going to go through and read all these because like we'll eventually do like a video on it. But like it starts in alphabetical order. You know, it goes from the 400 Blows to Four Clueless Comedies, you know, Another Day in Paradise, Basketball, Blue Valentine, The Canyons, and then it goes down through there, and we've got this shelf over here, and then this bottom one, and it ends with Zodiac. So those are, you know, I moved it up in the rotation. So basically, that one there, and then these ones here, these are all spoken for, these four. I've got way too much stuff, and again, this is just the fiction. I've not gone through all the nonfiction. I've got this little stack of just random nonfiction I dug out, but then I've also got this box here. Excuse me. I've got this box here. You know what? We're not even through with all the fiction, because I got all like the Alfred Hitchcock Presents books here, and then the Alfred Hitchcock Mystery Magazine stuff here. And then I've got a few like Rod Serling, like 4 Rod Serling books there. But yeah, there's the rest of the graphic novels. I've got, yeah, so we've got nonfiction here, and then I've got like 2 boxes, like those boxes there. I've got them outside this room in the hallway. I've got 2 boxes, those 2 boxes plus that box there and that there. So it's like, you know, like 4 boxes of fiction, a nonfiction plus that stack there. I've got to sort those and then find room for them. So we've got 1 shelf and then maybe 1 single shelf on that one. And that's all the room I have for the books. So yeah, I'm going to have to buy, I'm going to have to buy another bookshelf, at least 1 more. I'll probably have to buy 2 more to fit everything. But that's just kind of what's going on right now. I'm just spending a lot of time sorting and organizing, and I decided to start with the movies because it was just going to be easier, and I needed access to them sooner than I did the books, because when am I really going to read any of these versus the movies? I watch a movie almost every day. I think I've watched like 130 movies this year. So, you know, I watch a movie like every day or every other day. I'm watching a movie. So I like really needed access to them. I really needed them in order. So yeah, that is what I have done so far. This is what I'm getting rid of. And yeah, my guess is maybe, can we end up with $100? Can we end up with a cool $100? All right, guys, so I just got done in Half Price Books. I couldn't have been more wrong with my guesses. They gave me $55. There have been times where I brought in like this same kind of like equivalent, and I've gotten like $200. There are times where I've brought this same equivalent in and gotten like around 100. This is like the lowest they ever really gave me for that many books, but $55 is better than nothing. I had 1 pickup, and that is Return to Oz. I couldn't have left without it. I've been looking for this one. So that's that. Now we are going like 4 minutes away to now sell the movies. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna guess. I mean, I'd be happy if they gave me like $10 for this. I know it's nothing crazy. It's you know, the worst Terminator movies, plus Gremlins on 4K, Barry Lyndon and Paths of Glory on Criterion. I mean, $10 maybe? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I do have my $10 off coupon, so we will be going through the list and seeing what we can find. All right, cool. So we ended up getting $15 cash from Disc Replay. They were offering $21 store credit, and I was really close to taking it, but I did not find a single thing that I needed. I didn't find anything, not one thing. And I know I haven't like given you guys a whole rundown like of my list, but my list is not very long, and it's not very difficult either. There's only like one difficult movie on it, and that's the William Friedkin version of 12 Angry Men. That's the only one that's tough to find. Everything else is easy. It's like 10 Things I Hate About You. It's like very like easy stuff. And I think I did find, when I was thrifting the other day, I think I did find it, but it was just an empty case, and I got so excited. There were like at least like 3 movies where I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited, and I open it and it's an empty case, or it's like a multi-pack and like some of the discs are missing, and that was very disappointing. But my list is very easy. Like Pretty Woman's on my list. I can't even find that. I haven't found it here. I the other day I did go to the to a different Disc Replay, and I didn't even find it there. Some of the things I'm looking for are like really easy finds, but you know, I got and with $55 from Half Price Books and $15 here, so we got a cool $70. So that's really neat. And we did get returned to us. So that's pretty cool. So this has been a nice long unhaul vlog, goofing vlog. So that's all for this one, and definitely when I get everything set up with my bookshelves, we'll do a little bit of a tour, and we'll go through, and pretty soon I'll have up the everything I read in June and July video. So that's all coming soon, guys. Thank you for watching.